There's blood on my suit gloves. It's not my blood. I checked 3 times. Ran my hand over the helmet visor looking for cracks. Checked the joint seals. Verified internal pressure. Everything intact. Everything functioning perfectly. But the blood is there. Dark dried stains between the fingers of the right glove. Splatter pattern. As if I had touched something, or someone, who was bleeding heavily. I don't remember touching anything. I don't remember leaving the dome. I don't remember the last 6 hours. The last clear record I have is of sitting at the control panel at 4:17 in the morning, mission time, checking oxygen levels. Then, nothing. Black hole in memory. And when I regained consciousness, I was standing in the depressurization airlock, on my feet, with dirty gloves and the suit's radiation meter beeping softly, because I had been out there. On the Martian surface, alone, without authorization, without planning, without reason, and with blood on my hands. My name is Andre Tavares. I was, the maintenance technician for Ares 3 colony. 13 people came on this mission. Scientists, engineers, doctors, pilots, people with PhDs and impressive resumes. I was here to keep the generator running, to fix seals, to calibrate sensors, to do the dirty work that keeps people alive in a place that shouldn't have people. Now I'm the only person alive here. The other 12 disappeared in 17 days. They didn't die. They didn't flee. They didn't have a documented accident. They disappeared. And each disappearance followed the same impossible pattern. Person was there, turned their back for 2 minutes. When they returned, the person had vanished. No trail, no sound, no explanation. As if Mars had opened its mouth and swallowed. I'm recording this because I need to understand what's happening before it happens to me too. Or, before I discover it already happened and I just haven't noticed yet. The blood on the gloves. That's the problem, because if it's not my blood, whose is it? Day 1, first anomaly. We arrived on Mars 32 days ago. The landing was textbook. No drama, no failure. Ares 3 colony had cutting-edge equipment, experienced crew, generous budget. Everything the 2 previous colonies didn't have. Ares 1, catastrophic failure in landing module. 7 instant deaths. Ares 2, contamination in water system. 3 survivors returned to Earth after 8 months of nightmare. Ares 3 was supposed to be different. Was supposed to be the success that would prove Martian colonization was viable. The main dome was 62 meters in diameter. Titanium alloy and carbon fiber structure. Double solar panels. Atmosphere recycling system with triple redundancy. Capacity for 20 people for 18 months. Luxury, by Mars standards. We assembled it in 4 days. I spent 70% of that time under the technical floor, welding connections and testing valves. Boring work. Necessary work. Work that nobody with a doctorate wanted to do. On the 5th day, we turned on the main generator. Beautiful sound. Constant and professional roar of turbine functioning exactly as it should. The dome lights came on sector by sector. Control panels came to life. Displays showed green numbers. Dr. Helena Carvalho, mission commander, opened synthetic champagne. Everyone toasted. There was even an official photo to send to Earth. We were proud. We were idiots. The first strange thing happened that same night. I was calibrating external sensors. Routine work. There were 12 sensors mounted on tripods around the dome, measuring temperature, atmospheric pressure, radiation, soil composition. Each transmitted data to the central panel every 15 seconds. At 23:47, sensor 9 stopped transmitting. Not gradually, not with progressive error, simply stopped. Signal cut in the middle of a transmission cycle. I checked the panel. Data cable showed intact physical connection, normal electrical power, but zero transmission. Sensor 9 was 120 meters from the dome, in the northeast direction, near a rock formation we called the Tooth because of its pointed shape. I reported to Helena. "Probably dust in the connections," she said, without taking her eyes off the report she was reviewing. "Mars does that. Check it tomorrow morning. Protocol said external maintenance should be done in pairs, always. But it also said minor problems could wait for team meeting. Dead sensor was minor problem, in theory." I went to sleep at 2 in the morning. My bunk was in the technical crew rest module, shared with Daniel Sousa, systems engineer, and Mateo Ruiz, geology specialist. Daniel snored like a jackhammer. Mateo slept too quietly, almost without breathing. I lay looking at the metal ceiling, hearing the generators roar through the walls, trying not to think about how many kilometers of void existed between the dome and any other human being. I fell asleep around 3. I woke up at 3:52. Not from noise, not from nightmare, from silence. The generator had stopped. Generator stopping means no power, no light, no heat, no recycled air. Means slow death by cold or fast by asphyxiation, depending on how much oxygen is still in the tanks. I threw myself out of the bunk before my brain finished waking. Grabbed the emergency flashlight from the wall hook. The beam of light cut through the total darkness of the module. Daniel kept snoring. Mateo kept too quiet. I went to the corridor. Absolute silence. No fan sound. No panel buzz. Nothing. The generator room was in the technical basement, accessible by 10-meter vertical ladder. I ran down. Each metal rung echoed hollow. The generator was on. Status lights blinking normally, turbine spinning, meters showing output within parameters, functioning perfectly, but I heard nothing. I put my hand on the metal chassis. Clear vibration. The machine was operating, but the sound had disappeared. It made no sense. I ran back to the main floor, stopped in the middle of the corridor, took a deep breath, forced my hearing, and then I heard, faint, distant, but present, the generator's roar, normal, exactly as it should sound, as if the last 90 seconds of total silence had never happened. I stood there for 3 complete minutes, flashlight in hand, listening to the machine function, trying to decide if I had gone crazy or if something much worse had happened. I went back to the bunk. Daniel still snored. Mateo still slept too quietly. Neither had woken up. Neither had heard the silence. Only me. In the morning, I didn't comment to anyone. Seemed idiotic. Oh, the generator stopped but didn't stop. Recipe to be sent to mission psychologist. But I kept the detail. Because in my experience, when a machine does something strange once, it always does it again. After breakfast, protein paste tasting like sweetened cardboard, I went to check sensor 9. Helena assigned Carla Mendez, biologist, to go with me. Pair protocol. Always. We put on the suits. 20-minute process. Thermal base layer. Pressurized suit. Helmet with triple seal. Reinforced gloves. Magnetic boots. Life support backpack with 6 hours of oxygen. The airlock was 2 square meters. Internal steel door. External reinforced polycarbonate door. Checklist out loud. Helmet seal? Green. Internal pressure? 1.02. Green. Oxygen? 98%. Green. Communication? Hearing you clear. Carla activated the internal door. It closed with a satisfactory pneumatic click. The airlock depressurized. Took 45 seconds. You can feel it by the way the suit inflates slightly. External door opened. Mars greeted us with red silence. No matter how many times you see it, it always hits. The immensity. The color. The sky that's not quite sky, more like ceiling too distant to matter. The horizon undulated with heat rising from the ground, even though it was early morning. We walked in silence. Boots leaving clear footprints in the fine dust. Each step raised a little red cloud that took an eternity to settle in the low gravity. The tooth was 120 meters away. Seemed close. In Mars' vacuum, distance deceives. Everything seems closer than it is. We reached sensor 9 in 8 minutes. The tripod was intact. Firm structure. Cables connected. But the sensor module was turned. Not tipped by wind. Not knocked down by impact. Turned 180 degrees. As if someone had carefully unscrewed, rotated, and screwed back. The lens that should point at the sky pointed at the ground. The antenna that should be vertical hung horizontal. Carla saw it too. I heard her breathing accelerate on the radio. "This is..." she started. "It wasn't wind," I interrupted. "I know it wasn't wind. Wind on Mars is a joke. Atmosphere too thin. Doesn't have force to turn equipment fixed with calibrated torque screws." I crouched, examined the connections. No screw out of place. No sign of impact. No tool marks. As if the sensor had decided on its own to turn the wrong way. "Andre," Carla called. I looked at her. She pointed at the ground around the tripod. Footprints, not ours. We had arrived from the left. These came from the right. Standard mission boot sole. Pattern identical to ours. Trail came to the sensor. Circled around. Left in the opposite direction. Left straight to nothing. And stopped. Not gradually. Not fading. The last footprint was perfectly clear. Then, untouched soil. As if whoever was walking had simply evaporated. "We need to go back," Carla said. Tense voice. "I haven't finished checking." "Now, Andre." Her tone left no room for discussion. We returned to the dome. Fast. Without running, because running in a pressurized suit is suicide, but fast. When the airlock's external door closed behind us, I heard Carla sigh with relief. We depressurized, took off helmets. She was pale. "You saw," she said. It wasn't a question. I saw. The footprints ended out of nowhere. I saw. That doesn't happen, Andre. Footprints don't disappear. Not on Mars. Soil here doesn't erase trail. No rain, no strong wind, no... "I know," I interrupted again. Heavy silence. "Do we tell Helena?" she asked. I thought. Heavy. Tell her what? That we saw ghost footprints? That equipment moved itself? She'll think radiation is affecting us. And if it really is affecting? Both of us? At the same time? Seeing the same hallucination? Carla didn't answer. We wait," I finally said. "Monitor. If anything else happens, we report. But for now we pretend everything's normal," she completed. Exactly. It was the wrong decision, but it was the decision that made sense at the time. It's always like that. The mistake that kills you is the one that seemed reasonable in the moment. I fixed sensor 9, rotated it back to correct position, verified transmission, started working perfectly again. Didn't touch the subject of footprints. Carla didn't either. But that night, at the collective dinner, I noticed her looking at everyone at the table as if taking count, checking if all 13 were still there. They were. For now. Day 3. First disappearance. Daniel Sousa disappeared in the early morning between the second and third day. He didn't go out without notice. He didn't take a walk. He disappeared. Daniel was methodical, ex-military, walking checklist. Type of guy who timed how many minutes he spent brushing teeth. He would never break protocol, and protocol said, nobody leaves rest area between midnight and 6 in the morning without logging. At 6:08, Mateo woke up and noticed the empty bed. Daniel always woke up at 6 sharp. Always made his bed immediately. Military to the end. The bed was unmade. Blanket thrown, pillow wrinkled, as if he had gotten up in a hurry. Mateo checked the communal bathroom. Empty, Checked the rec room, empty. Checked the kitchen, empty. At 6:19, he triggered absent person alarm. Helena called emergency meeting. We gathered in the control room. 12 people, should be 13. Did anyone see Daniel after midnight? Helena asked, firm voice, professional. But you could see tension in her shoulders. Silence. Did anyone hear anything? Door opening? Footsteps? Anything? More silence. I had slept like a rock. No dream, no interruption. Matteo too. Everyone too. Right, Helena continued. Missing person protocol. Eduardo, you check the cameras. Andre, you verify all doors and airlocks. Carla, you check. Helena, Eduardo Ramos, IT technician, interrupted. He was already at the terminal. There's a problem. What kind of problem? The security cameras. He paused, fingers flying over the keyboard. Went offline from 013 to 547. Different silence. Heavy, tasting like metal. Offline how? Helena asked slowly. No recording, no feed, completely shut down. System failure? No. Eduardo turned the monitor for everyone to see. It was manual command. Someone shut down from the terminal. Here, this room. We looked at each other. Who had access to the system this early morning? Helena asked. Technically, Eduardo hesitated. Anyone with level 2 credential or higher. That includes... He looked around. 8 of us, including Daniel. Daniel shut down his own cameras and disappeared? Matteo asked. Why? Nobody had an answer. Andre, the doors, Helena ordered. I went to check. Main airlock door, locked from inside. Equalized pressure. Log showed last opening 18 hours ago. Secondary airlock door, same thing. Medical module emergency door, sealed. Alarm armed, untouched since installation. I returned to control room. All locked, I reported. Nobody went out. Which meant Daniel was still in the dome. Or had been. We organized systematic search. Pairs, each sector, under tables, inside cabinets, behind equipment. We searched for 2 hours. Found 0. 13 people lived in the dome. It had 470 square meters of area. There was nowhere to hide. But Daniel wasn't there. At 9:03, Helena reconvened everyone. Theories, she said. Dry tone. Suicide? Someone suggested. Went out through some gap we haven't found yet. There's no gap, I said. I built this dome. I know every joint. There's no exit that's not in the design. What if he forced something? Violated seal? Would have triggered depressurization alarm. Nothing triggered. Silence. Medical accident? Carla tried. Stroke? Collapse? Body somewhere we didn't search properly? We searched again. 2 more hours. Still 0. At lunch, nobody ate right. Helena locked the camera control terminal. Changed passwords. Limited access. Until we solve this, nobody stays alone, she announced. Not even to go to bathroom. Permanent pair system. Understood? Everyone understood. But deep down, everyone knew. Pair system doesn't work if you don't know what you're protecting yourself from. I spent the afternoon calibrating sensors. Mechanical work. Good for keeping hands busy and brain, if not quiet, at least distracted. Carla stayed with me. Pair protocol. We didn't talk much. But at some point she said, the footprints from sensor 9. I know, I interrupted. Do you think... I don't know what I think. Lie. I knew exactly what I thought. I thought those footprints that ended out of nowhere and Daniel who disappeared out of nowhere were the same thing. Didn't say it out loud, because saying it out loud makes it real. That night, nobody slept right. I lay in the bunk looking at the ceiling, hearing Matteo breathe in the bunk above, trying not to think about Daniel's empty bed. At 3:42 in the morning, I heard it again. The silence. The generator had stopped. But this time I didn't move. I lay still, motionless, listening. 60 seconds of absolute nothing. Then the roar came back, gradual, as if gaining volume slowly. When the sound stabilized, I heard something else. Footsteps. In the corridor outside. Light. Regular. Going straight somewhere. Boots on metal floor. I froze. Didn't breathe. The footsteps passed by our module door. Continued. Went away. Disappearing in silence. I waited 5 minutes. Then I got up. Slowly. Opened the door. Millimeter by millimeter. Looked at the corridor. Empty. Red emergency light painted everything in blood tone. No movement. No sound besides the generator. But on the floor, footprints. Red Martian dust. Clear trail. Coming from the airlock direction. Passing by my module. Going to the scientific crew rest module. And ending in the middle of the corridor. Not fading. Not gradually disappearing. Ending. I went back to the bunk. Didn't sleep anymore. In the morning, the footprints had disappeared. But so had Matteo. Day 4. Trust collapse. The 7 in the morning emergency meeting was different. It no longer had professionalism. It had fear. "Someone is doing this," shouted Dr. Ravi Patel, astrophysicist. "Someone here is sabotaging." "Sabotaging how?" Helena counter-argued. Voice still controlled, but cracking at the edges. Matteo slept in the same room as Andre. "Andre, did you hear anything?" I thought about telling about the footsteps, about the prints. Decided not to. "Nothing," I lied. "See?" Helena continued. "There's no way someone entered and took Matteo without Andre waking up." "Then Andre is the suspect," Ravi accused. I felt 12 pairs of eyes turn to me. "I slept all night," I said, calm. "Matteo was there when I closed my eyes. Wasn't there when I opened them. Didn't hear anything. Didn't do anything." "Exactly what you'd say if you had." Ravi was losing sanity. Helena slammed her hand on the table. Metal sound cracked. "Enough! Nobody's accusing anyone. We're going to solve this rationally." But rational had gone out the window when the second person disappeared. Eduardo brought the information that broke everything. Cameras went offline again. Midnight 7 to 5:50. "Again?" Helena went white. "Manual command. Same terminal." "But the terminal was locked," she exploded. "I changed the password." "I know," Eduardo said quietly. "But the log shows. Shut down at 07. New password. Your new password, Helena." Absolute silence. "Someone hacked?" she tried. "Or," Eduardo paused heavily, "someone watched you typing." Distrust poisoned the air. Carla approached me, whispered, "We need to talk. Alone." "Pair protocol," I reminded. "Fuck the protocol. Come." We went to the technical basement. Generator noise covered conversation. Carla stared at me, eyes deep from sleepless night. "You saw something else," she said. Not a question. I did. "Tell me," I told her. About the generator silence, about the footsteps, about the prints in the corridor. When I finished, she was trembling. "Me too," she whispered. "I saw too." "Saw what?" "Last night. Went to bathroom. 2 in the morning. Emilia came with me. Pair protocol. When we returned to the module, there was someone standing at the end of the corridor." "Who?" "I don't know. Too dark. Just silhouette, standing, looking at us. And I blinked. It disappeared. Carla swallowed hard. Emilia says she didn't see anything, says I imagined. But I saw, Andre. There was someone there. We were silent for a while. What do we do? She asked. Before I answered, the generator did something generators don't do. Coughed. Sound of mechanical choking. Turbine failing, then returning. Stabilizing. I looked at the meters. All normal. But the machine had coughed. I started slowly. We get out of here. Take the ship. Go back to Earth. Now. Helena will never authorize. Mission has 18 months. Only 32 days have passed. Then we don't ask for authorization. Carla looked at me, understanding. How many people do we need to pilot the ship? Technically, 3. Pilot, co-pilot, systems engineer. Eduardo knows how to pilot. You know systems. I can be co-pilot if someone teaches me basic controls. It's treason. It's survival. We went up from the basement, decided. But when we reached the main floor, 11 people waiting. Should be 12. Ravi had disappeared. Day 5. Predator rules. Ravi disappeared in the middle of a meeting. That broke everyone. Helena tried to maintain order, tried protocol, tried rationality. Didn't work. 2 factions formed. Stay, led by Helena. Argument, the ship is 800 meters away. Crossing open ground without knowing what's hunting is suicide. Go, led by Dr. Emilia Costa, doctor. Argument, staying in the dome waiting to disappear one by one is also suicide. I stayed in the middle, literally, sitting at the table between the 2 groups. The discussion escalated for 3 hours. In the end, agreement. 6 people would go to the ship tomorrow. 5 would stay. Night before departure, I went to the basement again. Wanted to check the generator one last time. If we were going to try surviving on a ship, needed to ensure it had power. I went down the ladder. Generator functioning normal. But there was something different. Smell. Not of oil. Not of heated metal. Organic smell. Blood. I searched the room. Nothing visible. The smell came from inside the generator. No. Wait. It came from behind. There was an access panel on the back. Rare maintenance. 3 screws. I removed the screws. Opened the panel. Inside, between the turbine and the casing, glove. Spacesuit glove, with dried blood. And inside the glove, there was still a hand. I vomited right there. When I stopped vomiting, I looked again. The hand was compressed, as if it had been forced into too small a space. Fingers broken at wrong angles. It wasn't whole hand. It was just from palm to fingers. Cut at wrist, clean cut, surgical. I recognized the watch on the wrist. Daniel's watch. I closed the panel, screwed it back, went up, didn't tell anyone. Because if I told it meant accepting that something had grabbed Daniel, had cut off his hand, and had stuffed it inside our generator. Without being seen, without being heard. While we all slept meters away. That night, I didn't sleep a wink. I lay listening. The silence came at 3:44. Exact. 60 seconds. Then the footsteps. This time they stopped at my module door. I stayed motionless. The doorknob turned, slowly. Testing. The door was locked from inside. The doorknob stopped turning. Footsteps walked away. Disappeared. Generator sound returned. In the morning, 4 people had disappeared. 2 from stay group, 2 from go group. 7 left. Helena, Carla, Eduardo, Emilia, me, and 2 more. Marcus Webb, pilot, and Sofia Ramos, chemical engineer. 7 people looking at each other, knowing at least one, maybe more, was no longer human, or never had been. Day 6. Escape. We didn't wait anymore. 7 in the morning, we suited up. Complete suits. Helena tried to argue. Tried protocol. Marcus cut her off. Fuck the protocol. I'm going to the ship. Whoever wants to stay, die here. 5 agreed. Helena stayed. Someone needs to document, she said. Voice broken but firm. If you don't come back, someone needs to tell what happened. Didn't argue. We left. Me, Marcus, Sophia, Eduardo, Carla, Emilia. External door opened. Mars greeted us. We started walking. Formation. Marcus in front, Sophia and Eduardo behind. Me, Carla, and Emilia in the middle. 800 meters. 12 minutes of walking. We crossed 100 meters without problem. Then Eduardo screamed. I turned. He had stopped. Looking back. There's someone following us. We looked. Nothing. Empty ground. Red dust. Clear horizon. There's nobody, Sophia said. I saw, Eduardo insisted. Coming out of the dome. Helena, Carla asked. No. Bigger. Bigger how? Just bigger. Keep walking, Marcus ordered. We continued. 200 meters. Emilia fell. She didn't trip. Fell. As if something had pulled her leg. I helped her up. You okay? I felt, she stuttered. Felt something pull. There's nothing here, I said. I know I felt. We continued. Faster. 300 meters. Sophia stopped. There are footprints, she said. We looked at the ground. Our footprints, clear. Coming from the dome and others. Coming from the side, converging with our trail. Different soul, bigger, wrong pattern. What the fuck is that? Marcus whispered. The strange footprints walked parallel to ours for a few meters, then disappeared. Run! Marcus shouted. We ran. Running on Mars in a suit is nightmare. Low gravity throws you too far. Backpack unbalances, vision limited by helmet. But we ran. 500 meters. Eduardo disappeared. Didn't stop. Didn't fall. Disappeared. He was running behind me. I looked forward for 3 seconds. Looked back. He wasn't there anymore. Eduardo! I shouted on the radio. Static. Eduardo, answer! Nothing. Don't stop, Carla gasped. Don't stop! 600 meters. The huge silver ship growing ahead. Boarding door visible. Carla fell. This time when I helped her up, I saw. Mark on the suit. Behind. On oxygen tank. Deep scratch. 4 parallel lines like claws. Carla, your tank! She looked, screamed. The scratch hadn't violated seal, yet. But it was there. Physical proof. Something had touched her. 700 meters. Sophia screamed, Ship door is open! She was right. Boarding door. Open. Ramp lowered. Dark interior. Did we leave it open? Marcus asked. Nobody answered. Because nobody had. Ship door doesn't open itself. Fuck it, Marcus decided. It's the only chance. We ran the last 100 meters, climbed ramp, entered. Marcus triggered closing. Door rose. Sealed. Pressurization started. 5 people taking off helmets. Heavy breathing. Trembling hands. Eduardo, Emilia whispered. Dead, Marcus cut. Or worse. Forget it. We went to cockpit. Marcus turned on systems. Everything dead. What the fuck? He shouted. Hit the panel. What happened? I asked. Main battery. Drained. How? It was on standby. Should last years. I know, but it's dead. Sophia checked auxiliary systems. Auxiliary battery 2. Backup 2. Everything dead. Heavy silence. Someone drained it. Carla said. Purposely. When? Amelia asked. Before we got here. Impossible, Marcus argued. We saw the ship through sensors. Nobody. He stopped. Because obvious. Cameras went offline every night. Enough time for someone to go out. Drain battery. Come back. Without being seen. We're trapped, Sophia said. No, I said. The dome has spare generator. We can bring it. Connect emergency. Turn on systems. Go back to the dome? Amelia almost laughed. You saw what happened on the way? Not everyone goes back, I said. One goes, fast, gets generator, returns. Who? Marcus asked. They looked at me. Maintenance technician. Obvious. I'll go, I said. Andre? Carla started. Lock the ship. Don't open for anyone until I return. Not if they knock. Not if they scream. Not if it's my voice. Only open when I transmit code, Lambda 7 Blue. And if you don't come back? Sophia asked. Wait 6 hours. If I don't show, I died. Try long-range radio. Call Earth. Good luck. They didn't wait for me to change my mind. I put on helmet. Left. Door sealed behind me. I was alone on the Martian surface, with 800 meters between me and the dome, and something waiting in between. Day 7. Revelation. I walked slowly, each step measured, looking around constantly. 100 meters. Nothing. 200. Low wind. Dust dancing. 300. I saw movement in corner of vision. Turned. Nothing. Continued. 400 meters. Halfway. I stopped, because ahead, on the ground, body, spacesuit, fallen face down. I approached slowly. It was Eduardo. I turned the body over. Helmet visor cracked. Inside, empty. Not dead. Empty. Intact suit. Perfect seal. But there was nothing inside. As if Eduardo had been extracted. Pulled out through hole that didn't exist. I dropped the body. Continued. Faster. 500 meters. The silence arrived. Not normal silence. The silence. Sound of my own respirator inside the helmet. Stopped. I could see my chest rising and falling, but I heard nothing. Nothing. Total vacuum. And then, I saw, ahead, about 50 meters, standing in the middle of the path, tall, 3 meters, maybe 4, vaguely bipedal shape, 2 arms, 2 legs, head, but proportions. Wrong. Arms too long. Extra joints. Hands with too many fingers. Legs bent at opposite angle. Skin. If it was skin, color of Mars. Rust red. Rocky texture. Head with no visible eyes. But seeing me. I knew it was seeing me. We stood still. Me. The thing. 60 seconds. The thing spoke. Not with mouth. Not with sound. Directly in my head. You see now. It wasn't a question. You always saw, from the first day, from the silence. The voice. Voices. Multiple. Overlapping. Echoing inside skull. The others didn't see. Deaf. Blind. But you. You heard when we stopped the generator. You saw the footprints. You felt. What do you want? I asked. Voice coming out trembling. Mars is not empty. It never was. You assumed. Humans always assume. We didn't know. Ignorance is not defense. You invaded, built, drilled, contaminated. It was a mistake. We can leave. We will leave. Late. You contaminated 12. 12 humans stepped on our soil. 12 must return. Return where? To the soil, to the subsoil, to the layers, to Mars. I understood. You ate them? Not food. Incorporation. They are Mars now, like us, like everything, like you will be. No, inevitable. But you have choice others didn't have. What choice? Test. You were tested. Night after night. Silence. Footsteps. Prints. Doorknob turning. You didn't run, didn't scream, didn't break. I was afraid. Fear is tool, not weakness. You passed. Passed what? Judgment. You can stay. Stay? With the 4 on ship, you 5 can go. Battery will be restored. Departure permitted. And the others? Already ours. Silence. Why? Why let me go? Because you need to tell. Need to warn Earth. Need to guarantee they don't come back. And if they come back, next colony, we won't offer choice. The thing started moving away, retreating, dissolving in the red dust. Last message. Go, before we change our mind. I ran, not to dome, to ship. Entered, transmitted code. Lambda 7 blue, Lambda 7 blue, open! Door opened. I entered. Took off helmet. Turn on everything, take off now! Andre the generator, Marcus started. Forget it. Turn on. Sophia checked panel. Battery. She blinked confused. Is full. How? Marcus shouted. Don't know, but it is! Showing full charge! Didn't explain. Marcus didn't question. Turned on systems. Warmed up thrusters. We took off 6 minutes later. When Mars became small below, I looked out the window. Where the dome should be, there was nothing anymore. Just ground. As if it had never existed. 3 months later, Earth orbit quarantine lasted a week. Tests, exams, interrogations. I told everything. They didn't believe. Officially, collective psychosis, prolonged isolation exposure. Officially, Ares 3 mission was catastrophic technical failure. Officially, 7 survivors are receiving treatment. But they canceled Ares 4 and 5, an entire Martian program for indefinite time. So, they believed. Just couldn't admit it. Today, 3 months later, I wake up thinking about the footprints. The ones that ended out of nowhere. The ones that started out of nowhere. And the blood on my gloves. Blood that appeared during memory blackout. Blood they could never identify. Human. But with DNA slightly altered. As if it was changing. Sometimes I wonder if we really escaped, or if Mars simply let us think we escaped, if we're really free, or just seeds planted on Earth, waiting, germinating, slowly. Yesterday, I heard it again, at 3:44 in the morning, the silence, 60 seconds, here, on Earth, in my apartment, where there's no generator at all. And when sound returned, I heard footsteps in the corridor outside. They stopped at my door, tested the doorknob, walked away, disappeared. In the morning there were footprints, red, Martian dust, on the corridor carpet, ending at my door. So, maybe I didn't escape. Maybe none of us did. Maybe Mars is just waiting to see what we do with the information, to see if Earth hears the warning, or if they ignore it, like we did. And if they ignore, well, at least Mars gave a chance, more than we gave it.